you know, as the typical cost and stuff of the cards, signs and stuff we're doing, but we're looking hopefully in the next like 30 to 60 days, we'll have an online ordering portal for you guys that can streamline your ordering, design, all that stuff with postcards and everything that can, you know, obviously we're at a fast paced world that goes. And sometimes you just want to slow down, but not happening in this industry. But we can do all things print. I've been in the industry for 18 years. There's nothing, you know, my 1-minute commercials, there's nothing I haven't screwed up and fixed. So, you know, we do all the wall wraps that you guys have seen upstairs as well. And if you guys ever have any questions as far as print goes, let me know. And if I can't do it, I can definitely point you guys in the right direction to get you in front of the right people. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. And I'll pass these around. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, and we have TJ, you coming up, represent. Got a mortgage minute. Yeah. There are things happening in the lending mortgage world. What's going on? Did I mute it?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cross Country just rolled out our Lock Before You Look program. So what this is, it enables borrowers to lock in their interest rate before they go under contract for up to 90 days. In order for them to be eligible for the product, they have to go through our Fast Track program, which is actually a benefit to them. It basically means they're pre-underwritten, so they can close their loan within 10 days. This is basically all we're going to be waiting for is title work and appraisal. We've got one going right now because it just rolled out last week, and it's going super smooth. So any questions with that? Cool. Yeah, so you could just go through the standard Fast Track, and basically that we can go all the way up to clear close without locking. And that's basically, we'd just be waiting for the appraisal. And as soon as we got that back, we'd be good to close. So cool.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, let's move forward. So things coming up. This keeps going in and out. So, which isn't that bad. So I was wow, now it just got. I'm sorry for the people on Zoom, because that's what I was just going to say. It's a lot worse on Zoom. You can hear it just fine here, but so that was one of the things. Just baby was at home. Maybe I'm making it worse holding it. And I noticed being on Zoom, it's really hard when this mic goes in and out. It kind of goes completely dark. So I feel you people that are on Zoom listening right now. So a few things coming up. We've got Kimber is teaching on Elevate Your Brand marketing series. That's going to be this today at 1 p.m. We've got Tech Bar every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3:30. So if you need some tech help, that's where you can come and get that. We've got our broker, Rich. This is Thursday, the 27th. Is that tomorrow? It still says Thursday. We were going to update that. It is Wednesday. That's why I was just double checking. So ignore the Thursday. It is Wednesday. Wednesday at 9. So ignore this. It is Wednesday at 9. Okay. Right here. Yep. Come for that. It'll be great. FHA VA loan addendum, which is that's one of those things you need to understand definitely as a listing agent, so that as you're getting those, you understand what an FHA VA loan means in this market compared to other offers. So if you don't, if you're not brushed up on that, then come. This is our lead generate like the Stern team. The Stern team is one of the largest teams here in the state, and they do a ton of business, and they bring in tons and tons in leads. So this is something that you guys want to make sure that is on your calendar, and it's going to be pretty packed. So that day also for housekeeping, Wednesday, that's tomorrow from 11 to 1. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 27th. Oh man. Yeah, you're confusing me. Yeah. Yep. I know. Sammy puts up with us a lot. So this is tomorrow. So for housekeeping, I think parking will be somewhat of an issue. So maybe plan for that. If you want a spot here in the parking lot, then come and get that maybe early. Overflow will be at the church. Yes, there was a sign up. So hopefully you did. And if you didn't, then we can probably try to squeeze you in. Yep. It'll probably be, I'm guessing, probably standing room only type situation. But yeah, if you need to, park at the church and walk down, just so we're not filling up all the neighborhoods. Yep. This one, no, this is plan on just tomorrow. Yep. We'll have some more, but just this one, plan on this, and then we'll get you more details. Okay. Orientation. This is Thursday at 10 a.m. We've got book club. The Shift. This is something we're going to be talking a lot about, the Shift book. Raise of hands, who has read that book? It's one of those that I was on a road trip and you just went through it like twice. You just listen to it on Audible and it's pretty awesome. Which shift? Oh, we're going to be going over, so we'll get you out the game plan, but next Tuesday we're starting that off. We're going to be doing it here in team meetings, covering that. But the book club itself, that's what you're talking about. Tactic 4 for those on Zoom. Excellent. And we have this Thursday, Loving on Your Clients, Treating Your Database Awesome. That is Thursday at 2:30. And this is the first shift series. We're going to be talking about how inflation changes the market, get some mindset in there as well. That's going to be next Tuesday. Oh, I went backwards. Red Day, we've got a video that we want to share with you on this. Stay tuned.
When you're changing your life, it's very difficult without a support system. You need some resources helping you be successful.
Can you really have all the tools ready to go in 6 months? Lifestyle Village, it's a long-term program for single parents that have a child under the age of 12, coming from homelessness, substance usage, domestic violence, or at risk of homelessness. Families are with us for about 5 years. We support people and help people remove evictions, expunge their record, build their credit. They take parenting classes, just life skills. But you can't do that in 6 months. You can't do that in a year.
They need so much money in the very beginning just to move into a place that it sets them up to fail. So people will end up staying in those unhealthy relationships or go back to their addiction because that's what's familiar and comfortable.
Having a model that allows people to have the time to really build a foundation, it's different.
It gives folks a place where they can start over.
I am so grateful for Life Start. I don't know how it would have went. They helped me through a lot of hard times.
The parents I know here love their children. They deeply care about their children. They want their children to be successful. And Lifestart Village provides the supportive housing, and children get to stay in the same school. We know research tells us every time we change a child's school, they lose about 6 months academically. So Lifestart Village has been such a blessing to these children because they learn to make friends in school, to participate in school, and the parents are supported to participate with their children in school. I can tell you of many successful students I've had here that I will meet somewhere. I had the opportunity to go to a doctor's office at one point, and the RN that came out was a former resident, and that was exciting to see that success. It's a very successful self-sufficiency program.
It's amazing to watch. They come here, they have a set of goals, and they just start accomplishing them super quick, even faster than we can move.
When you get to Life Start and Heidi takes you in and shows you your new apartment, it's the best feeling.
I think what makes us unique too is that it's communal living. People at Lifestart really support one another. I know what it's like to do homework with no electricity, to have a sister that is in a domestic violence situation. So I see myself in our kids.
I come from a substance abuse background. We started off as a resident here, me and my 2 kids, and we were a resident for about 7 years. And I purchased my home 2 years ago, and now I'm the director of Lifestart Village.
They start to believe in themselves and their self-esteem comes back and they begin to contribute back to society.
Family Support Center created the person I am today.
My kids have changed completely. Like, they're just happy kids. This place helped them get their mom back. I remember my kids coming. They were so excited. It was home like right away, and I could feel it like walking through that door. I made it, you know.
Functioning families are very, very important, and that's what we value here. That is coming from your guys' donation.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has helped support Lifestart Village. Your support means so much to each one of us here.
So if you don't know what Red Day is that's what each year we come together as a, the whole company Keller Williams, on one day, we try to find some local community or something that we can do to help here locally. And this is, so on Thursday, May 12th, we are going to be helping this community, doing some service over there. This is a kind of a village type, that's the best way, a cluster of homes or a village. Or Clint? Yes, I was actually looking for you. You guys are like, give Clint the mic. So Clint, he is our ALC chair, and he runs the Red Day. So this is all volunteer from him as well. So we're so grateful for him finding this project and finding someone that we can help. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so the video, pretty much what we're doing. So Thursday, May 12th, it's coming up quick. We decided to go and help this little community. It's in Midvale. They've got like 3 locations though. And it was really cool to see. It's a group of people. I think there's about 34 adults and about 62 children at this little community. And all of them come from like a abuse background. So domestic abuse, drug abuse. And it's this place that they go, and it's a 3-step process to kind of get them back into the real world and kind of get them on their feet again. Like you saw in the video, it helps them build credit. It helps them kind of just become better people. So we went and had the opportunity to tour it the other day. And I think we all felt that it was a really cool experience to be able to help them. So what we're going to be doing, it's kind of a little community, like a condo community. They need some work done there. They need some landscaping work done. We're going to paint some curbs. Some of the parking curbs have been dinged up a little bit, so we're going to paint the curbs red for them. We're going to do some work in their backyards. These kids that are there, they don't have much besides what is already there. So we're gonna go in. They've got a couple backyards where the kids play. We're gonna build them a swing set. We're gonna kind of clean it up a little bit. It's a little damaged back there. There's some grass that needs to be replaced. And then really just provide like household essentials, because the community provides everything when these people are moving into these little condos with no state funding too. It was crazy to see, and they all have jobs. They all keep it spotless. I'm really excited for everybody to see it, because it's really, really moving to go and be there. But that's our plan for Red Day. So we're gonna plan on starting around 9. We'll have breakfast and lunch there. And then if you guys want to help out, obviously show up on Red Day. That's going to be the best thing, so we can all be there. And then we need to buy like supplies for them too. That's going to be one big way that we're going to help. So if you can't make it on Red Day, and if you want to donate, just Venmo at KW South Valley. And then, or if you want to buy something in specific, then let me know and we can coordinate what to buy and we can deliver it to them. So, yeah. 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 For sure. Yeah. Red. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll have shirts there. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, we'll get them. We will probably need garden tools, yes. So, yeah. Gloves, we're gonna, yeah. Yeah.
And sorry, one literally has like 0 toys. And so they all go to the other one, and they were like really beat up little ride along toys or little scooters. And like they didn't have anything really fun or exciting. So we want to get lots of fun outdoor toys and sidewalk chalk and bubbles and just make it so fun for their summer, and put flowers and grass and play set. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool.
It's a good opportunity too to reach out to your sphere and let them know what you're doing. It's a good touch. It's a free touch. It lets them know that you're, busy giving back to the community, and they can be involved too. They can donate items. They can donate money, whatever you want to do. So use it as a touch for your clients as well, and it'll just help it be bigger.
Yeah. Any other questions? Ms. R? Yeah, go ahead.
So can we invite our family members to come help out, or is it just for us to do? That's it doesn't matter to me. I just wondered if that was the thing.
So Red Day Across is like
Just KW.
it's KW, but I was gonna say when we're there, I bet some of the residents, I think it would be fun to go and ask some of the residents to come and help, like just so they can kind of feel like they're doing something in their community and helping them, make it a better place. If you have like a couple family members that maybe wanted to help, then
You're not
I'm
turning
not.
me down. You're just like, no,
I'm not going to tell you no. 'Cause
No,
we
no,
could
I just
probably
wanted,
use all
I
the
just
help,
wanted to
but
understand
yeah.
the whole way it's organized. So I'm cool
Typically,
either way. I just
typically in the
wanted to-
past, it's been just the office and our vendors, but I wouldn't say that it's, I'm not going to turn anybody down for service. So you're welcome to if you want. Does that answer it a little bit? A little bit? Okay. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Cool. Yeah, of course.
So what other type of donations are they looking for? Just like household items? Are they looking for like clothing donations as well, or?
So household items was a big thing that they said. They teach these children and these adults how to cook, everything like that. They provide everything for them. They like games too, so it's kind of like a token thing. They kind of have their own little thing that they do. So if the kids do something good, they get little tokens and they can go and buy like games or something to do for that day, and just kind of, just to give them to some to do. Yeah. So like games, I think would be a big thing. They have a nice little closet where the kids can go pick something out. And then other than that, household items. They did have a little, like a baby clothes area that I did see. But we'd probably just want to provide them with like, here's some money to go buy the clothes. I don't know if they would want clothes from the public, but. Yeah. 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 Or we can go and we'll take the cash and we'll go buy the toys, or we'll go buy the household essentials, and then we can all deliver it while we're there. Rob, do you have a question? Yeah. 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 For sure. Yeah. Really just the household essentials that we would need in our homes, they are going to need as well. So if you want to donate anything in specific, then reach out to me. Another thing I want to mention too, and then I'll be done. They want us to kind of keep the community confidential. So if you guys do end up putting out anything to your sphere saying this is what we're doing, please don't put the exact address of this community. These people are fleeing from abusive situations, so they don't want to have somebody show up and know where they are. So that's all I will leave you with. Just if you put it out there, just Life Start Village, no addresses attached to it, please. So sound good? Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you, Clint. Let's give him a round of applause for all the effort. It's a big deal. Yeah, so please put this on your calendar. It's something that it's really nice to be able to do something outside of our regular work day and come together as a work environment to help the community. Excellent. Okay, well, let's move forward to our main man, Mike. Mike, I saw that you are on, and I appreciate your patience. Can you hear me okay? Are you possibly muted?
Yep, there we go.
There
Sorry.
we go. Mike, excellent. Thank you for joining us today. If you guys don't know Mike, his business is a huge model for something that we can really level up our game for our database. And we're so excited to hear from him. And Mike, the kind of the game plan. We've got hopefully a screen that you can see. I'm going to stop sharing this so you can see maybe that a little bit better. We've got a room full of people here. So, and we have some people over Zoom. So what we'll do is I'll turn the time over to you. And then as we have questions, I will run the mic around here and do my best to not interrupt you or anything. And we can go from there. Does that sound good?
Yep, that'll be just fine. So, hello, everybody. How are you? Want you guys to know that Tyler was twisting my arm hard to try to get me down, and I would have just couldn't quite peel the day out. So, you all doing well? That was a great discussion on Red Day. So Tyler wanted me to call in today and talk to you all about Promise and basically even the idea of referral business. So it's a little hard for me to see everybody that we've got here, but I guess I'll tell you a little bit about me. We'll start there. I've kind of got an outline of things Tyler wanted us to talk about today. So I've been in real estate since 1988. Wondering how many of you guys were around in 1988. So 33 years worth of doing this. So when I got into real estate back in 1988, I was coming out of the corporate world. You know, I live up here in Idaho Falls. Our population up here is about 110,000, so a little smaller than your area, I'd say. We'd moved here originally in 84. We here for 2 years, we left for 2 years, moved back. And my degree is in accounting. I've been working for a corporation. When I got back, thought I'd go into practice in accounting. And we bought 2 houses here in Idaho Falls from a gentleman by the name of Gary Voigt. And when Gary heard I was back in town, he reached out and said, "Man, you should get into real estate." Which I got to be honest with you, that struck me as hilariously funny. It really did. I mean, it was just the last thing that I had in mind to do. But obviously, at some point in time, I changed my mind and decided to give real estate a try, knowing I could always go back into the accounting and business world if I wanted to. So in 1988, think about this, guys. We didn't have fax machines. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have the internet. In fact, all we had were the signs, a telephone book, our fist to knock a door with, and advertising in our local newspaper. Our purchase and sell agreements were a single-page document that was seven copies thick of carbon copy stuff that we used to roll through an IBM Selectric or by hand to prepare. So is that hard to believe that 33 years ago, that's what it looked like? So while I'm here online with you guys, many of you have heard of the DISC assessment, personality assessment. I'm what's called a low I. I'm really good one-on-one with people, and I'm pretty safe on Zoom. But when I get on stage at a family reunion or something, it's very hard for me to be in front of that many people. It takes a lot out of me. So if when I'd started real estate, my only choice to be successful would have been to knock on doors or open up the phone book to make phone calls, I'd have been lost cause. I wouldn't be here today if that were the choice. So not having a great sphere, I became really determined to, I guess what I would tell you is become really, to give good phone is what I became focused on. That when I got somebody on the phone or I got with somebody, that if they were going to do real estate, that they would do that with me. And if they didn't, I'd find out why. And that when I was working with people, that they would refer business to me. And if they didn't, I would find out why. Now, at first, I sort of thought people would get it by osmosis. And I realized that that didn't work out so well. And so I finally realized that I really had to state my goal to people. I had to let them know what I was about. So before I get into a little bit of that, I want to talk to you about my career progression and what happened. Okay, so I was only in real estate 2 or 3 years. It was October, 2 or 3 months. It was October of '88. Our average sales price here in Idaho Falls was $59,000 at that time, $59,000. What do you guys think? Sound fun? So, you know, at that price to make a living, I had to sell a lot of real estate. Well, my first year of real estate, I sold $3.5 million worth of real estate. I just remember the volume numbers in those first 4 years. I don't remember the number of transactions, but that was about 60 in my first year. My second year, I did 5.7 million. Third year, 7.5 million. And my fourth year, 10 million in volume. And I think our average price was up to about 65,000 at that time. I remember that year, that was 184. I do remember this year, it was 184 transactions, and I hired an assistant, which was unheard of back at that time. And I will tell you that at the end of 1984, or the end of my fourth year, which was 92, from that point forward in my career, basically 100% of what I do comes from repeat or referral business. So what do you guys think? I can't hear anybody. Total silence.
They all love it. Getting
Can't hear a
great
thing.
feedback. Sorry,
So
that's what's weird on the Zoom is you hear a lot of silence on your side, but we're
yeah,
yep.
it's very difficult. That's the difference, guys, between being here where I am and you where you are. It's hard to feel what you're feeling one way or the other. So we'll try to get the point of this. So my point was that it really took off. So I will tell you that I was with Remax for 23 years. I was an owner of a Remax office. We converted to Keller Williams in 2011. In 2013, I was the number 3 agent in the Keller Williams network, and myself and 3 assistants. I hadn't read, can you believe this? I had not read the MREA. I had not read that book. And so leverage to me wasn't about having buyers agents or anything. Leverage to me was assistants. So I had 3 assistants, and we closed 303 transactions in 2013 with myself and 3 assistants with no buyers agents or anything. That was 2013. So in 2014, finally formed a team. I saw the light. But guys, in 2013, I want to give you a vision of this, doing 303 transaction sides. I want to ask you what you think my marketing budget was. Anybody want to venture a guess?
Some people saying 0.
It was 0. I had
Very
no
low.
marketing budget. All my business was repeat and referral. It's pretty high ROI, isn't it? Anybody like that idea? You know, our market, guys, the market we've enjoyed for the past number of years, we'll see some changes to that market. This is the first time since 1981. Think about this, in 1981, so you know, I bought my second house in 1981, and I was paying, my interest rate on my loan was just shy of 18%. Imagine that. And I was paying at about 8%. And so the difference between what I was paying and what I was being charged was added to my principal every month. And that was called a negative AM loan. But since that time, since 1981, guys, except for a little blip in 2008 or 9, we've experienced declining interest rates or level interest rates. And so nobody really knows or understands for sure what's going to happen in a time of rising interest rates, which we're moving into. Now, the good news is people always find a way to buy a home. So we can depend on that and we can count on that. But we also have to understand that there's the numbers of us doing this, and our ability to do our business is really tied to our control over the lead. So in our world today, we have lots of interruption out there, don't we? We have lots of interruption. It seems like everybody and their brother there are a lot of licensees. We've got Zillow. We've got all the aggregators out there. We've got everybody chasing the consumer to do business with them. We have people out there trying to change the model of how we do business. So we're at a time where your relationships and your control over your database are really important. And, you know, the big companies, I want you guys to think about this as we move into this conversation. The big companies, the Amazons, are they constantly reminding you who they want you to do business with? Is Walmart advertising? Is Coca-Cola advertising? The big conglomerates, people advertise to be top of mind, to stay on your mind, just so that they will stay on your mind to come back and do business with them. So that's a lot about what this promise is about. Don't rely on osmosis. So I want to, can I take the screen? I'm going to see if this will work, if I can wander this around. Tyler, can I take the screen?
Yep. Let me go ahead and push on that and see if you have screen sharing.
Yeah, maybe.
Share one.
Doesn't look like it.
I think, do you have screen sharing permission?
Doesn't look like it.
All right, let's.
We'll get through this if I don't.
I'm going to make you a co-host.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if that works.
Well, maybe. Okay. Let's see. See if it's going to let us do this or not. It doesn't want to. Well, we'll get through this without it. We'll be fine. Okay, you guys have me back?
Yeah, it's showing on our side you're able to. If you push your share screen button, does that?
Yeah,
That work for you?
it's my end. For some reason, it's wanting to open up my system preferences to allow me to screen share, and it's not taking me where I want to go here. Can you see my screen at all?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's on this end that we've got the issue. Probably should have done this on my iPad rather than my Mac. Okay, we'll be all right. We'll be just fine. So guys, I don't know how many of you have pencil or paper or anything, but I want you to think about the opportunity of what I call the ultimate multi-marketing system out there. And that's this repeat and referral. So let's just imagine that you deal with 40 people during a year. So what I want you to do is put up 40, write down 40. Then even with that 40 straight across the top, put 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Okay. You with me? So 50%. I'm sorry, the 50 clients. Now, whether it's 40, we're using 40. So at 10%, here's what I want you to track. You'll add numbers down below it. So if we're below the 10%, if you deal with 40 people, and remember, they don't have to necessarily do real estate with you in order for them to be an advocate. Important for you to remember. So if 10% of the time out of those 40 people, they send you business, how many pieces of business is that? This is high math, right? 4. So if we get out to 20%, if 20% of the time those same 50 people send you business, how many pieces of business is that? That's 8, right? Now keep in mind, if 20% of the time you're also getting referrals out of those 8, which is another 2. So now you're up to 12 pieces of referral business out of the same 50 people. Now I'm going to skip a beat. Let's roll over there to that 50%. To where if half the time when you're dealing with people, they're going to send you a piece of business. So if you had 40 and half the time they sent you business, that's 20. But remember, those 20, half the time those 20 are going to send you business, which is another 10. Half of that's another 5. And half of that, we'll say, is another 3. So if you add all that up, that's 38. So you started with 40, And if half the time those folks give you a referral while you're working with them, you've generated another 38 business opportunities. Now, let me ask everybody this question. What is the major difference between a piece of business that's referred to you versus a cold piece of business, and let's just call it a lead that came in off of a listing, a cold lead, someone you've never talked to, you don't know? As far as when those people are going to do business, what is the truth about referrals?
More trust.
More trust. What about timing? That makes sense what I just asked?
They probably convert faster.
Way faster. Most of the time when you get a referral, what is the word? Give them a call. They want to sell their house, or, hey, they're looking for a house. Can you give them a call? I mean, I've got a text message sitting on my phone right now from a past client. His name is Scott Moore. Scott says, gave me the guy's information, says he's waiting for my call. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So referral business is already warmed up. You're already established, and you're exactly right. You have trust, you have credibility, you have all those things. Your relationship is starting from here. You guys can see my hand. You can't see my left hand because it's not on the screen, because that cold lead, you aren't even on the screen yet. You've got to build it to get up into here. And who knows, the average internet lead today, they say, is 12 to 18 months. That was a new number that was shared with us with Gary's group in our last meeting. So what's the difference of that, and the credibility and the cost and the investment? So what's the rest of that? Is that client that comes to you by referral, are they typically easier to work with? They're faster, they're easier. If you have staff, is it easier for your staff? Everything about that business is easier, everything. And so, guys, I'll tell you today, a lot of times you may be working with a speaker that no longer, they're not in production anymore. So you guys know, I sold 142 homes last year. I was involved in 142 transactions. I'm an owner of the market center here. I'm the principal on our team. Our team will do we did 714 closings last year. I'm in development and construction. We're opening up a mortgage company. We've got all this other stuff going on, and I have time to sell. And I actually, guys, still being backwards, I have an EA now, but the business that I do by myself. I don't have a buyer's agent or a listing agent with me individually on our team. I just take care of it. The only way this happens is because with referral business, it takes less time, and you can be laser focused and deliver that same level of service without having to spend the excessive amount of time that you have to spend when you're evolving and developing a client from the ground up. What do you guys think about that? Make sense?
Please, they're saying.
I'm
Sounds
sorry,
pretty
what?
amazing.
Yeah. So how many, and I can see people out there, but how many of you, sorry, you don't need that big of a close up, do you? So how many of you all have seen the promise script? Has anybody?
Maybe about a quarter. Of the
Tyler promises to get it to everybody there in the market center. Right, Tyler?
I promise.
He promises. There we go. There's a promise. So let me tell you why this thing is called the promise and what it's about. So let me ask each one of you, if you make a promise to somebody, what happens when you make a promise to somebody? What happens inside of you when you make a promise? Does it change your level of commitment? And what does it do?
When you make a promise to someone, you're committing yourself to them. It's kind of like when you write something down, you're more attainable to do it. So you're making a promise to yourself and that person to commit to do it.
You bet. So let me ask you, when you go into a restaurant or you go into a store or whatever, do you think that the business owner, do you think they want you to come back again? Do you think that they want to deliver for whatever it is they do? do you think that they want to deliver to you an amazing experience that you're really satisfied with?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they really do, don't they? But do they ever say it? How often do you walk in before you do business with somebody and you have them tell you that their intention is to create for you an amazing experience? How would it affect you if they did? I mean, I'm sure just about everybody in this room has had to pay a visit to a auto collision service, right? Have you? I know I have. What if when you walked in, they were very clear about their mission to really deliver an amazing experience to you? And if they did that, how do you think it would affect how they delivered their service? And so this is the backbone of the idea of the promise. So the promise is a long script, guys. It's a long script. When you get the script, you're going to roll your eyes and think, oh my great day in the morning. This is a long script. The script comes from several different places. So I decided back in 1989 that since I was going to make my business grow from people that I was in touch with. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand, I've never knocked a door. And back in the day when all realtors were opening up the phone book to make phone calls, I never did that. I was completely reactive to what got in front of me. But then when it got in front of me, I was determined to capture it in some form. I never ever believed there was any such thing as a bad lead, that if Tyler called me to do real estate, that eventually, even though he may choose not to do it now, eventually it would. And so I had to have a system to stay in touch with him over time. So when he was ready, I was the guy that was top of mind, and I was the guy who stayed in touch, and I was the one he was going to call when it got to be time, just because of value add or contact or whatever over time. And that's how I was going to grow my business. And whenever it didn't happen the way I thought it should, or I wanted it to, I was very determined to find out why, that I would ask, because I felt like finding out why people chose not to do business with me was really important. And eventually I learned that it was important to find out from people who were doing business with me why they were doing business with me. And that crowd especially, they were the ones who gave me the best suggestions on how to do my business better. Isn't that, I mean, we think that that's the wrong way to go, but the people who care about you most are the people who are most willing to help you. And one of the great ways they can help you is how you can do business better. So here's the thing with the promise. So the promise starts off with creating a statement that essentially says that, hey, I'm going to create an experience for you that you can't imagine being any better. I've got systems to do it with. I'm going to make sure I understand what your expectations are. Then I'm going to try to stay out in front of everything, stop surprises. No matter how great I plan, stuff's going to happen. Doesn't it? Doesn't always happen. Best laid plans of mice and men. But no matter what happens, we're still determined to create this experience for you. And then from that to go on and say, now I've got an expectation for you to send me business. And so that's the second part of the promise. And so the promise starts off saying, so Tyler, I've got another goal. Can you believe it? And
Sounds
that
great.
yeah.
I'll role play with you.
There we go. Okay, well, sometime from right now until the day we get closed on your home, that you'll feel so great about what we're doing for you that you'll call, text, or email me the name of someone who needs help with real estate. Now that's the basic message, guys. There's more to this second part. But inside this part, of course, when I started back in the beginning, we didn't have text messages, and we didn't have email. We had phone calls. But I learned through delivering this first part of the message, even though I never said, give my name out, people walked away from that conversation thinking, well, Mike wants me to give out my name. And guys, let me ask you, is somebody giving out your name wonderful? I mean, is word of mouth awesome stuff? I mean, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
But does it cause your phone to ring? Really?
Rarely.
I mean, maybe, gosh, I mean, it happens when you're at the grocery store, on the soccer field, or running around the track, or where, I mean, you know, it just doesn't happen to where by the time people get home, they remember anything. And so it just doesn't work. And so that's where the third part of the promise comes in, because people would always say, well, Mike, I'd be happy to do that. So Tyler, I want to make sure you understand what it is that I'm asking. I mean, hopefully while we're working together, you will be giving out my name, which, I mean, I truly appreciate that. Word of mouth, I mean, it's the lifeblood of our business. But what I'm asking is that in addition to giving out my name, please call, text, or email me their information. That way, there's 100% chance that I'll be in touch with them, okay? So could you do that?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
You'll call or text, right? Or email, whatever.
Yep.
Okay, well, great. I'm going to count on it. So what that third part was doing was getting out of their heads that giving out my name was good enough. Because that's not what I wanted, was it? What I want them to do is reach out to me so I get the information, like the text message I told you I got this morning from Scott. That's the way, don't you just love that? So the real gold in the script is in the fourth part of the script. And that's what I call the exit interview. And that's the part where, so as the final part of the script goes, Becky's on Zoom here. So Becky, imagine this, we're sitting so it's the day of closing. We're sitting at the title company. We've signed all the documents, you know, happy day, right? But I know that you haven't been in touch with me with the name of somebody that I could help. So I'm going to assume we didn't deliver on our promise, that we could have done better. So I'm going to want to talk to you about that to find out what it is that we could have done differently in order to have earned that referral from you. That'd be okay? And so that's the idea in the exit interview of the script. And truthfully, guys, if you're sitting at closing and asking how you did, and to really try to find out how you did, that will work for you great. And I will tell you that most of the time, people will tell you that you've done great, won't they? I mean, they really will. And they may not have sent that. They may not have sent a referral, and maybe they still will send that referral. But the clients that are your best clients, that are happiest, if you're sitting at the closing table and you're having this discussion and they told you that you were wonderful, thank them for that, but then go here with it. So Tyler, I mean, it's great that you're happy. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to just, the first thing that comes to your gut, I mean, just like that, the first thing that hits you when I ask this question, just throw it out for me, okay?
Okay.
So tell me, Tyler, I know it was great, but tell me one thing we could have done better. First thing that comes to mind, what could we have done better?
Maybe communicate more.
Okay, great. So
you're probably excellent at communicating.
Well, no, I think,
but,
right. But I'm just saying, so guys, when you do that, especially with clients that are happy with you, they really do. They're an advocate for you. Whatever suggestion they make, take that to heart. And if you implement anything that they suggested, let them know after the fact with a gift card or something, thanking them for what they did for you to help your business to advance it forward. The key to the promise, guys, is that you're putting it out there. You're saying that, hey, my intention for you, and so you're doing this early in the process. The goal for our agents, so that you know the construction of our team, we've got 15 agents on the team now. Obviously, this is a part of our culture. Our objective for them is to go through the promise with all of our clients no later than the second the completion of the second substantial contact with them, which often is the first face-to-face because there's been a lot of contact over the phone or through Zoom or something in advance. So that we've got it out there, because delivering the promise after it's over is too late, because it's just like anything else. If any of you have gone out and bought a car, you've never seen a car like the one you bought before. As you drive home, you're going to see 5 cars just like it. You never noticed it before. So because it's now top of mind, you notice it. I will also tell you the promise, a key part of this is that when you get midway through the process of the closing process in particular, that's the time to cover it, which is typically right after the inspection. If right after the inspection, you'll go back in and you'll say, okay, I want to get a pulse on how we're doing. How are we doing? I mean, you remember in the very beginning, I talked to you about our promise that we have this goal. I want to be sure how we're doing, because you haven't been in touch with me with the referral, so I'm worried. So you've got to tap it to remind them that, oh yeah, because remember, this transaction's all about them. It's not about you. So you have to have that little reminder in there to make sure that you stay on their mind with this.
Mike, can I ask you a question on that? Have you had anyone push back and say, hey, this transaction is about me, and the message I'm hearing is you're making it about you and you wanting to grow your business? Have you ever had any type of feedback like that?
No, nobody that's ever been direct in that fashion. I think in our minds, we probably think people will. But if they did say that, I would tell them, look, you're absolutely right. I'm sure this does sound like it's about me, but actually my primary question is one of my measures of success when I know that I'm really helping people the way we should be is if they want me to help their friends and neighbors and family and people they know to have the same experience they're having. And if you're not having a great experience, definitely you're not going to say anything good. So the only way I know to make sure you're having a good experience is to ask. And one of my points of measure is whether you send business or not. Now, if you choose not to, I get it. But this is one of my ways of finding out.
I love that.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Are you okay if I see if there's any questions in the room?
Oh, you bet.
Are you open to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's on their mind. Got a question here.
I'll just make this question fairly brief. When you get to the closing table and they haven't given you a referral and they don't necessarily have maybe what Tyler suggested is the attitude of you're making it about you, but they do say, I'm not comfortable. Like, we think you're great, Mike, but I'm just not comfortable, like, giving you other people's information, or however they word it, whatever their objection is. How do you turn it where they aren't saying that they think it's about you, but they just aren't comfortable sharing other people's information?
Yeah, I mean, and that's always valid. And so you find out a lot about advocacy and how people will advance that. You know, somebody whose personality type is like me, a low I, this is a hard thing. I'm going to offer you something that will help in that conversation. When people call you, any of you that are on this, and they say, James, we need a painter. Do you know a painter? Now, I'm going to tell you that if you say, yep, I've got a painter, here's his name and here's his information, give him a call. That you are, this is going to sound crazy, you're behaving in a hypocritical manner because you are now giving out referrals, word of mouth, the way that you don't want it to happen. So I want to tell you that training people to send referrals to you the way you want them sent, one of the most important steps is you send referrals to them the way you want them to be sent. So at the James, when you say, here, I'm going to give you my painter's information, but I'm going to go ahead and give the painter a call and just have him reach out to you. Would that be okay? Because he's a really good painter. He'll take really good care of you. In our business here, our practice is that we'll call it concierge, all of our clients with, for whatever they need, whether they want their furnace serviced, whether they're trying to find somebody to change their light bulbs, whether it's they've got a hole in their yard and who can they call to come bring them dirt. I don't care what it is. We want them reaching out to us to say, do you know anybody? Because that's one of the ways we stay in touch with our clients and provide them service after the fact. And we don't charge a dime, right? We're just doing that because we can. And so whenever that happens, whoever it is will say, well, here's our heating contractor. We'll have them give you a call. And so we give them the information, and then we call our whoever it is we're calling to have them call, because that person now knows we're sending them a referral. And so now there's some attachment to the outcome on their part because they want them satisfied because they knew we sent the referral and we're a source of business for them. And so, so it's like with lenders, you know, when people want a lender, you reach out to the lender and have the lender call them. I mean, you be the point, you send referrals the way you want to receive referrals. And so that client that you just talked about, who doesn't want to give out the information, you can then say to them, well, you know, as we've been going through this process, you've needed different services. Have you noticed the way that we send you that business? And they'll say, well, I don't know. Well, did you notice that every time while we did give you the information of the person, we reached out, we called and had them contact you? Did that feel bad to you? And they'll never say, yes, it felt awful. They always appreciate it. And they'll say, oh no, we really appreciated that. So we're just making the point that, you know, by having me call your friends, you can tell I'll put my strong arm tactics out on them just like I did you. You know, all I want to do is help, see how we can help them. So sometimes people are just not going to do it. But I will tell you another thing. So I've actually had a client, and gosh, done business with him for, 25 years, 25, 30 years. And so his name's Doug. And we were at the title company, and this was the 4th or 5th transaction I've done with Doug. This has been a couple of years ago. And we were sitting at the title company, and the closer was off making copies of the documents. And anyway, I turned around to Doug and I said, oh, Doug, no referrals, so I better check in. Must not have gone the way I wanted it to go to make sure you were taken care of. And so because he's a longtime client, I hit it like that. And Doug just smiled, and he leaned back and he reached into his pocket and he said, Mike, I was just waiting to see if you bring this up. Here's you a couple names and phone numbers. So he had them written down for me. And I asked him, I said, Doug, if I hadn't brought this up, were you going to give those to me? He says, I'd have probably eventually given them to you, but I wouldn't have given them to you today. So make sure you do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to tell people you're going to talk to them at the closing table, if they didn't send a referral, there will be people who will remember that promise that you're going to do that. I will tell you another thing too, guys. All of us have clients that when we get to closing, we are grateful to see them go. We are so grateful closing's happening. You ever have that? They're probably glad to see you go your way, and you're glad to see them go their way. Don't ask them how you did, okay? Y'all don't need that. But everybody else, even there will be some people that you kind of think it went okay. You may find out at the closing table that you've actually got an advocate. You may find out at that closing table, they've actually given out your name to 3 or 4 people, and they're shocked that those people have not called you. So don't make assumptions. We're terrible about this, about making those assumptions. Now, you will get suggestions from people. I'm going to offer this up. I mean, we're past time. I need to get off here for y'all. People will make suggestions, and you'll hear what they have to say. And the first thing you think is, but we did that. That's what you're going to think. Yet, that's the feedback they're giving you. So whatever they offer you, you need to take it at that time. Don't offer excuses. Don't offer anything. Don't do that. Stay in curiosity. And it could have been that you told the husband and you didn't tell the wife. So maybe in your standard emails or something that you do, your text messages, you're communicating with one or the other and not both. When they say that, whatever they say, there's something in there that you've got to go back and look at your business with. Now, I'm not saying you might not call them back a couple days later, because I hope you're calling all of your clients 2 or 3 days after closing to find out from buyers what surprises they've got that you need to get information for them. For a seller, how's their move going, wherever they're going, and did they get their money in their bank okay? I mean, those things you can do. And at that point in time, you can say, you know, when we were closing, you made this suggestion. I got to be honest with you. I really thought we'd done that. Clearly we didn't. And can I talk to you more about that? And have that conversation, but don't have it at the time they're offering you the feedback. Okay. Don't do it, because you're defensive at that point in time. You're going to defend your position. Take it, think about it, look through the system, and then figure out maybe what didn't go the way it should have gone. Okay. Because those people, if they offer you that and they're satisfied with your service, they're being constructive, not destructive.
That is very helpful. And Mike, do you happen to have written down somewhere the script on?
Yeah, I'm
paper?
going to email it to you, Tyler.
Excellent. And I'll send that out to everyone.
Yeah.
Mike, you're fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. We know with how much business you're doing, you are spread very thin, we would guess. But all this info is very helpful, and we
Thank you.
appreciate you. Let's give him a big thank you. Hopefully you can hear the room. I know it's been silent on your side, which is very hard on your side of the Zoom, but we're all here. We're all smiling and happy that we got this info from you. So thank you very much, Mike.
Okay, guys, best to you. I hope you do something with this. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.